Hello again everybody and welcome back to Coding with Kenny G, and this is episode 27 and we're just gonna do this today. So we're gonna ensure that we implement another game mechanic called the center tile capture. So I'm gonna show you how that looks. When the center tile is empty, it is then considered an ally of the attacking piece. So this guy, if I move this attacker here to this position where my mouse is, like so, this defender should be captured because the center tile is empty. If it were not empty, then the king would be there because he's the only one that is allowed to be on the center tile. The center tile is hostile to everything, meaning even the king. If he is not on the center tile, he can be captured next to it. I can show you just to display it real quick. I'm just gonna move the king next to the center tile. So if you see the king here where my mouse is, when he is next to the center tile, he can be captured in the armored version of Hnefatafl, where he needs to be captured by 4 dangers. He needs to be encircled by 2 attackers and then another attacker coming in as the aggressor. We're going to implement that as a special check later. But for now, let's just handle capturing these normal pieces. So let's go into script, and we were working in the capture checker script, and this was here where it got a little bit difficult. So let's see here. We're gonna start from this position. So if neighbor to attack tile in cardinal direction is not equal to null. Here we're checking if the neighbor to the attack tile is occupied, or the neighbor to attack tile is a corner tile, and we're going to add another OR here. So in order to make this read a little bit better, I'm going to put in a line break after the OR statement. So I have board helper.get is tile a corner tile underneath, and then I'm going to write another OR. So OR board helper dot get is tile center tile. Now we're going to send in the board, and then the target tile is yeah, that's the neighbor to attacked tile. That's it. So if any of these 3 statements are true, then we continue into this little bit more advanced if statement checkup here. So first of all, if the attack tile contains the king, and if it is a corner tile, then we get out of this function. Yeah, I might need to get out of this function if the neighbor to the attack tile is a center tile as well, and if the attack tile contains the king, because I want to do a special check for the king. So I don't really want to handle him inside this function at all, actually. So we can do that. let's write a comment. Is the attack tile occupied by the king and the neighbor of the attack tile center tile? Then we get our else function. So if the attack tile dot get occupying actor dot get actor type equals actor type dot king and board helper dot get is tile center tile, send in the board and then neighbor to attack tile, we return null. The reason why I did it is because I want to check specially for the king. It's better because then I can easier implement the two different rule sets later. So we just ignore him, even though this particular... No, we couldn't check if he was captured in this function anyway, because unless the king was unarmored. So it's better to just ignore the king in this, call it normal capture rules. And then we implement the king kind of win conditions later as their own checks. So these are kind of break conditions where we just get out. And then if the attack tile contains a normal piece, we're just going to add another if statement here. I'm going to comment this to be above. Is the attacked tiles occupying actor not the king and the neighbor to attack tile is center tile? Then that guy counts as captured as well. And we also need to check if the... Well... No, we need to especially check the center tile is only hostile if it is empty. If it is occupied by the king, then it is not hostile to the defenders. But if the center tile is not occupied by the king, it is hostile to everyone, including the defenders. So I just need to write this correctly here. So if the attack tile dot get occupying actor dot get actor type is not equal to actor type dot king, and the tile we're checking is a center tile, so board helper dot get is tile a corner tile. We send in board neighbor to attack tile. So if it is occupied by a normal actor and it is a center tile, and we also need to check if this tile neighbor to attack tile in cardinal direction is not occupied. So I'm going to do that. Just to make this somewhat easier to read in, I'm going to put in a line break after the and then I'm going to write another and neighbor to attack tile in cardinal direction dot get is tile occupied equals false, just to make this explicitly written. So in the comment here, is the attack tiles occupying actor not the king and the neighbor to attack tile is center tile, and the center tile is empty. Because if it's not empty, one of our this last if statement should handle that situation. So then we return the attack tile dot get occupying actor. All right, so this needs to be tested. This is a little bit unsure. I'm gonna create a few different test setups for this one so that we double check that the mechanics are implemented correctly here. I'm gonna go back to Unity, press play, and I'm gonna move this attacker to the attacking position next to the defender, and he should be captured. He did not, because we had a null ref. Okay, this probably needs a little bit of debugging, because we reached this if statement. If neighbor to attack tile in cardinal direction. This can be null, yeah. So if neighbor to attack tile in cardinal direction is not equal to null, and this function should get caught. So if the attack tile dot occupying actor is not equal to actor type dot king, so it's not that, and oops, there we go. I wrote a little a mistake here. So board helper dot get is tile a corner tile. It should say board helper dot get is tile center tile. Then that should be caught. All right, so let's give this a go. Let's try this mechanic out again. So the defender got captured when he was next to this. I have to just real quick test something here. I'm just gonna move these attackers around a little bit. Just so I can quickly move this king to the center tile, and then I'm gonna try to capture this defender. He should not be captured. So we move the attacker to the neighboring position here, and since there is a king there, this guy should not be captured, which is correct. He did not. Then we can test out attacking an attacker next to the center tile. So I'm just gonna move these guys randomly around a little bit. Then I'm gonna select this defender and try to attack this attacker. He should be captured. There we go. Good. Yeah, I think that's it. So it's a little bit tricky, but once you got them down, you only need to get them down once, and then these capture mechanics just work. So that's good. And it's also cool to see how you actually get these game mechanics down. But as you can tell, it is important to keep your tongue in the right position when you're talking about this, because it can easily get a little bit mistakes can easily happen once you start getting into this sort of composite if statements. and I worry that we're gonna have might be some bugs here, which I haven't found yet, but like we saw here, this guy could be null at this point, and we need to make sure that we're not ever allowing a null ref that is not supposed to be null, because that would just break the entire game. But we'll find them as we go. But this game is starting to look like something. It is now possible to play a large amount of game just with these capture things. Even though we haven't implemented any win conditions yet, we do have some very important game mechanics down, which is super cool. I think that we should start implementing one of the few simplest win conditions in this game, the next episode. And that's going to be cool, because soon it's almost playable. So we're just lacking a few win conditions. Few. It's probably going to be a few episodes to kind of get all that stuff down. But this game is not that far away to be a playable game that you can build out at home. And you can play a local hot seat game with your friends. Hot seat meaning you're on the same computer, and two people play, and you each of you take opposite turns, and you have a game. So yeah, win conditions. Yeah, we could start looking at that for the next episode. So this is starting to get good. I hope you like it so far, and I hope that you managed to follow these more difficult parts. And then I will see you in the next episode.